What's up, Skins Nation? Welcome to that famous show of shows on TV, the YT, Pigskin Facts, History and News. I am your host of hosts, Fred Watson Jr. And guess what? The Redskins finally won. Yes! Yes. That requires a celebration. Hail to the Redskins, hail victory. Braves on the warpath, fight for old DC. Run up, pass up, score, we want a lot more. Beat 'em, stomp 'em, touchdown, let the points soar. Fight on, till you have won, sons of Washington. Rah, 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 hail to the Redskins, hail victory. Braves on the warpath, fight for old DC. Woo! Redskins won, y'all. Finally, it's been a minute, but we won 19-16 over the Detroit Lions yesterday at FedEx Field. And before we go any further, thank you for joining. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button at the bottom. If you have any thoughts, comments, or anything you want to speak about or say, go to the bottom, to the comment section, fill it out. I would love to hear from you. And here we are. Week 12, the NFL season is finally over. The Redskins have broke a 9 home game losing streak. The last time they won a home game was last season, October 21st, 2018. So that drought is finally over. Rookie quarterback Dwayne Haskins led his team on the final drive, was ineffective most of the game, but when it counted, led the team on the drive. At the end of the game, Dustin Hopkins came through with kicked the 39-yard field goal to secure the victory. And before we go any further in that, let's just go back on the facts. I told you there was some facts last time that I promised to go with you over. So here we go. What year did the Redskins and the Detroit Lions start off their rivalry? What year did the Redskins and the Detroit Lions start their rivalry? Answer, 1932. The Detroit Lions back then were known as the Detroit Spartans. And that is when they started their rivalry, 1932. And the Redskins at that time weren't even the Washington Redskins yet. I believe they were Boston. They were still in Boston at the time. Okay, number 2. Who are the top 3 winningest coaches in franchise history? Who are the top 3 winningest coaches in Redskins franchise history? Answer, Joe Gibbs, 145-87. 145 wins, 87 losses. His coaching tenure, 1981 to 1992. And his second coaching tenure, 2004 to 2006. Wow. 145 wins, which makes him the greatest, winningest Redskin coach of all time. George Allen, 67 wins and 30 losses. 67 wins and 30 losses. Yes, George Allen. He happens to be the father of the vice president of operations. The Allen that we want to, 1971, his coaching tenure was 1971 to 1977. 67 wins, 30 losses, George Allen. And Ray Flaherty, he had 54 wins and 24 losses as Redskins coach. And his coaching tenure was the start of the inaugural season of the Redskins, which was 1936 to 1942. 6 seasons, 54 wins, 21 losses. Former Redskins coach Ray Flaherty. Those are the 3 winningest coaches in Redskins franchise history. And the last question, what was the Redskins' largest home game attendance? was the Redskins' largest home game attendance? Answer. It was FedEx Field, 90,608 versus the Minnesota Vikings, September 11th. Wow. 2006. 90,000. What was the Redskins' largest home game attendance? It was 90,608 at FedEx Field versus the Minnesota Vikings, September 11th, 2006. If they could turn it around, they could fill it out to capacity like that again. And Skins Nation will rise again. Be patient. It's going to happen. It's coming. You know, they always say what goes up comes down. I believe what goes down comes up. So it's coming. All right, yesterday's game, the Redskins won 19-16 over the Detroit Lions. And believe it or not, if you did not watch the game, I will tell you that the offense had nothing. Well, let me back that up. The offense didn't do very much yesterday to win the game. It was the defense and it was special teams that really stood out yesterday. Yes, Dwayne Haskins, rookie quarterback Dwayne Haskins, did have a nice final drive when it counted. But for the most part, the Redskins' offense was inept yesterday, was non-existent for most of the game. Dwayne Haskins finished 13 for 29 for 156 yards and 1 interception. And the running game was not effective yesterday. With a combination of Haskins, Darius Geis, and Adrian Peterson, they probably totaled 85 yards combined running the ball. So they didn't run the ball very well yesterday, but they did what they had to do to win the game. So that's all that matters at the end. But their running game needs work. Those big boys up front, they need to create more running lanes, and they need to create more holes up front. And so that's, like it's been all year, has been a work in progress, the offensive line. We don't have a good offensive line. That's just the truth. Like I said yesterday, Haskins, if you're looking for anything he improved on yesterday, I would say he made the right throws yesterday. He read the defense a little better, but there were a lot of overthrows. Like the one to Terry McLaurin. I mean, it was probably like 20, 25 yards out. And it was just like on a sprint route. And he just tossed it up, and it was just too far. Terry dove for it, and it was just not enough. He just put too much mustard on the ball. And I think where Dwayne Haskins has to improve, he's going to have to improve on his touch passes. He's going to have to be more accurate because he's doing a lot of overthrows. He's overthrowing the ball a lot. And I don't know if it's because he gets fidgety in the pocket or if he feels rushed or whatever, but he's going to have to work on his touch passes a little better. And even on the there was another pass, I think it was to Terry McLaurin. He could have had 2 potential touchdown catches yesterday. And it was the same thing. He overthrew him. And he's done that a lot. Even on the out route to the out route in the flat to Trey Quinn. It was barely like a 5 to 7 yard pass. The ball reached his hands and he couldn't get it. So I mean, it was like he's got to sharpen his skill on that and getting the ball there accurately. He made the right throws yesterday. That's where I saw improvement. He's reading the defense a little better. He's getting better at doing that little by little. But he's still overthrowing the ball. He's putting too much mustard on the ball a lot of times, and he's going to have to correct that. Also, let me see. I'm not going to be too much on Haskins. There's always room to improve, and there's still a lot of areas where he needs to improve. But it's good that he's playing now. I'm glad that he's playing because it gives us a chance to see where he is and what he continuously needs to work on. Not only through these games and through the rest of the year, but into the off season. Because they're going to evaluate and they're going to look at those things on film, and so these are things that are correctable. So I'm just glad that he's playing on the field and getting experience. And like I said, folks, he's going to get better and better. It's a process. Give him time. Give him time. It was kind of funny yesterday because they took the lead 19-16 at the end of the game. Quinton Dunbar intercepted the ball with 48 seconds left. Redskins drove down the field. Dustin Hopkins kicked the game winner, a 39-yarder. And I guess Dwayne thought the game was over. So he was so happy to get his first win as a rookie quarterback. They were looking for him to close the game out because I think it was like maybe 6 seconds left in the game. So he had to come back in the game and just take the final snap. But they couldn't find him. So they were looking for him, and they had to end up putting backup quarterback Case Keenum in the game to take the final kneel to run the clock out. And where Dwayne was, he had went further to the back, and he was back there, took his phone out, and was taking selfies with the fans. So they couldn't find him. So it was kind of hilarious because he was so happy that they won yesterday, and they were looking for him to take the final snap, and the backup quarterback had to come in the game and finish it off. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, yesterday the special teams and the defense won this game for the Redskins. The secondary was without Josh Norman, who had been playing all of his other previous game with injuries. So I guess he decided to sit out. They sat him, and the secondary played his best game of the year, actually. They got 4 turnovers from the Lions offense. They sacked quarterback Jeff Driscoll 5 times. What they didn't do very well, they didn't stop the run very well, and even the quarterback got out the pocket and got some good runs. But for the most part, they contained, they held when they need to. Even when the Lions got down in the red zone, the Redskins shut them down. So it was a bend or break mentality, and they went with that. And those are the results I got. And like I said, from the review, the game preview Friday, that the Redskins needed to stop the Detroit tight end. Don't let the Detroit tight end exploit them like they had been exploited all year. And I believe the tight end only caught 1 or 2 passes that game. So they did their job in that area. Jeff Driscoll, they held him to 207 yards passing. So they did a good job. They intercepted the ball 3 times yesterday. So they came up with clutch turnovers when they needed to. And they even had a forced fumble yesterday. So that went their way. So that's what they needed. And so they had a game-closing interception. Steven Sims botched a clean catch on a kickoff return that may have been what he needed. Because he quickly recovered, sprinted 91 yards for the score and lead, which proved to be embarrassing and demoralizing for the Lions and their loss in this game. I'm not a Lions fan, so I really don't care. Last thing I want to look at, don't want to hold it out too much longer. I want to give 5 game balls to some Redskins standouts from yesterday's game, and I even have an honorable mention. That could have potentially been a 6 game ball, but I'm giving out 5. So the first game ball goes to Dustin Hopkins. Not only did he make all of his 4 field goal attempts yesterday from 28, 37, 42, but his 39-yarder secured the lead as well as the game winner. So he made 7. He has made 7 of his last 8 field goal attempts. So double kudos to you, Dustin. You get the first game ball from yesterday. Congrats. Game ball number 2, I'm going to give it to the rookie kick returner, Steven Sims Jr. He dropped the ball on a kickoff return, and he quickly scooped it up, broke one tackle, shook somebody out their drawers, and made his way toward the left sideline. And his breakaway speed, he turned on the jets, and he was gone, untouched, 91 yards into the end zone. That had gave the Redskins a 10-3 lead at that point, and there was just like very big momentum in that game that went in the Redskins' favor. And it kind of, it was like a foot up the ass for Detroit. Just a Nike up your rectiliar, just size 11 Nike right in their ass. And the Redskins scored when they needed to. But that I think that proved to be a backbreaker for the Lions. So double kudos to you, Steven. Hell to the Redskins. Game ball number 3, cornerback Fabian Monroe. He came in and started in place of Josh Norman, and he did a phenomenal job yesterday. He did his job yesterday. He came in the game, played very well against the Detroit receivers. He didn't give up a lot of passes, and he got 2 interceptions. So he had an outstanding performance, and he snatched 2 interceptions. The last one sealed the game and the win for the Redskins with 8 seconds left on Detroit's final drive. He read quarterback Driscoll's eyes, and he stepped in front of Marvin Jones for the easy pick, and that sealed the win. So double kudos, Fabian. Hell to the Redskins, and keep playing like that. Keep doing that. Game ball number 4, of course, cornerback Quinton Dunbar on the other side of the defense. He was graded the highest cornerback in midseason from Pro Football Focus. He was graded the highest cornerback. That's a big honor. He's playing at a Pro Bowl caliber level right now. Just awesome. Yesterday, he snatched his 4th interception of the year. 48 seconds left in the game. Quinton Dunbar undercuts Marvin Jones's route, gets the easy pick, and sets up the Redskins with 48 seconds left for the offense to come on the field, drive down the field, and get in field goal range and kick the game winner. And that's exactly what happened. So Quinton Dunbar showed up when the Redskins desperately needed him, and he was one of the main factors of the reason why the Redskins won. He made his 4th pick yesterday. So keep playing at that level, that Pro Bowl level, Quinton, and you're definitely going to play in that game come January, February. So double kudos to you, Quinton Dunbar. Keep up the good work. Hell to the Redskins. 5th and final game ball number 5 goes to Terry McLaurin. I call him Touchdown Terry, even though he didn't score, but there will be more scores that he will get. The playmaker, Mr. Clutch, as he's been all season, never ceases to amaze. On 3rd and 5, with 26 seconds left in the game, McLaurin, Haskins dropped back, threw the ball 17 yards. McLaurin dove and caught it, and that set up the game winner right there. Was that catch by Terry? He finished with 5 catches for 72 yards, and he consistently found holes and weaknesses in the Detroit defense yesterday. And there were a couple of potentially touchdown catches that he could have had if he wasn't overthrown. So it could have been more. He could have had over 100-yard game yesterday easily. And those games will come because Dwayne Haskins and him will get on the same page. Once again, his elite speed and precise route running was a difference. And it shines through every time. Every time Terry McLaurin plays, even in losses, his play, his elite speed, and his precise running routes show through all the time. And it's only gonna get bigger and better. So double kudos to you, T-Mac. Hail to the Redskins. And last but not least, honorable mention Honorable mention of potentially Game 6 game ball. I'm going to give him a smaller football, maybe like a K2, but put honorable mention on it. We'll go to Cole Holcomb. And he played rookie linebacker Cole Holcomb. He played his best game of the year. He had 13 tackles, 7 solo, 6 assisted tackles, and he had 1 sack. This guy is I believe Cole is a 5th rounder. They drafted him out of North Carolina, and this guy has done nothing but shine all year. Even in that first game in Philadelphia, you saw flashes of greatness from this guy, and he's going to be a mainstay in our defense for years to come. And I really like him. So I'm going to give you a double kudos, Cole, and I'm gonna give you an honorable mention. But game ball. So, awesome flashes from new Redskin players. Calvin Harmon, he had a decent game yesterday. I know he had that drop on that deep 65-yard bomb from Dwayne Haskins. That would have been great. But he played a good game yesterday. He had 3 receptions, I think, for 43 yards. So I'm seeing a lot of potential in the young Redskin players. And I see some mainstays on the offense and defense for years to come. So the best is yet to come. We are going to get better. In this offseason, we're going to make some moves. We're going to do some things. So with that said, that's going to wrap up another edition of Pigskin Facts, History, and News. I am your host of hosts. Bada bang, bada bang, bada bang, bada bang, bada bing. Fred Watson Jr. Y'all have a good week. And I will see y'all again Friday. We will have a game review. The Redskins go down to Carolina to visit the Carolina Panthers. So looking forward to that game. And you guys have a good week. And I'll see you Friday. And until then, signing off.